Phoebe. We'll go ahead and get started. First and foremost, you are booked and busy. First and foremost, congratulations. So
Thank
you
you.
have your third book, you have a series going to Freeform, and your debut comedy special is just days away from being released on HBO Max. How are you feeling?
It feels, when like all your dreams start coming true and you wait so long for it and they all come true at the same time. You're like, is this allowed to happen?
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. It's been a long journey and I'm having so much fun. So I can't wait for everyone to watch the special.
And speaking of the special, it is called Sorry, Harriet Tubman. Can you tell people what they can expect from that and what it's going to all be about?
Yeah, it's sort of like just a kind of a joke at like, sort of things that I talk about in the special, whether it's, dating or things that can be a little bit frivolous, but also like really funny. It's sort of me going, sorry, Harriet, you worked so hard so I could tell these kind of like silly jokes. But I really wanted it to be just a fun hour. We're still in the middle of whatever this pandemic is. And I really want people to feel joyful and uplifted and just forget their problems for an hour.
I completely understand that completely. We could all use a piece of comedy at this point. How did the quarantine impact you? Like obviously you got to work, but what did that do to your workflow and your creative process?
I think it was sort of kind of like figuring out how and I know I have a lot going on, but I think it really did take a good part of COVID to sort of figure out how I want to restructure my life a little bit. So I'm saying no to a few more things and really diving in passionately to the things that I'm really excited about, whether it's my book or my stand-up special. So I think I'm prioritizing those things more and then also trying to, catch a few Z's.
Gotcha, completely understand that. Your third book, Please Don't Sit on My Bed with Your Outside Clothes, was recently released under your own imprint. How does that feel to have tiny reparations come to fruition for you?
I'm so excited. I mean, it's a dream I've had since 2014 when I first met my lit agent, Robert Ginsler. And we have 11 books, including mine on the slate, and they run the gamut of a poetry collection, a Marsha P. Johnson biography, an art heist novel. So we have a lot of different things I think are book clubby and cerebral and fun. And so I think people are going to really have a good time reading our books.
Fantastic. And I know that that publishing side of things was all about amplifying diverse voices. Why was that so important to you?
When I was shopping around my first book, You Can't Touch My Hair and other things I still have to explain. This was 2015 and it was really difficult. The only person who was interested in my book was my publisher Plume, and everyone else was like, this isn't relatable. No one's going to want to read this. No one's interested in reading a book written by a Black woman. And this is 2015 and this is what I was being told. And so for me with this imprint, I want people to feel as though this is a safe space. They can really have a platform to let their work shine and not be rejected just based on how they look or their sexual orientation or how they identify.
That's amazing and so needed. So thank you for doing that. Everything's Trash is now getting its own television series, and I saw that you posted kind of some behind the scenes photos on Instagram. I think it was either today or yesterday. My
Yeah.
feed is all out of order, but what has that experience been like for you?
It's been so exciting. I mean, I've been wanting to have my own half-hour scripted comedy for several years. So the fact that it's finally happening, I'm really pumped. And that Jack A and George Wallace are playing my parents is just, Black royalty in my
Right.
opinion. So it's so cool and I'm really excited. And I'm really pumped to work with Freeform. I think they're really ready to like mix it up with some of the storylines and really sort of talk about maybe different issues than they had previously on their network. So I'm really happy to be a part of the family.
Do you have like a candid moment that you can share from the pilot that really, I don't know if it resonated with you or shocked you on either side of the spectrum, anything from the pilot shoot?
I think for me, it's like one of those things where, just having George and Jack, I'd be like, oh, you're so funny. And like, I've loved like your stuff and like Two Dope Queens. And I was like, you what? You guys, what? I know you said yeses, but you actually watched what I was doing and just trying to be like, okay, okay, they've seen my stuff, but now gotta act, and they're just my parents in this scene. So it was really cool to sort of just have people that you look up to be like, I see you and I like what you're doing.
Fantastic. And speaking of people that look up to you, I know that you're from the Cleveland area and that you still have family here. Is there anything about the city that you miss? Anything that you wish you could transport to New York?
It's just such a different energy. Every time I come back to Cleveland, it's just like, oh, it's way less stressful. Like I love New York, but New York is just like go, 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 go. And I feel like Cleveland, I don't want to think balance is the right word, but I think just Cleveland just has an energy about it where it's like the hustle is but one part of your life, and there's so many other things that fill it out. And so that's one of the things that I miss the most about Cleveland. I haven't been back since 2019 just because of COVID. And so I'm really hungering just for that kind of like warm like hug that I'll get when I land in town.
Fantastic. And I'm a foodie, so I would be remiss if I did not ask, are you a Polish boy girl? Are you a corned beef girl? Like, what's your vibe? What's your Cleveland food go-to?
My Cleveland, it's my dad's cooking. I know that sounds like a cop out, but he is such a good cook, and he's vegan. And I know people are like, vegan, is it really good? I'm like, yes, it is bomb. He is the best cook ever in the history of the Robinson family. So my dad's food.
Okay, dad's vegan food. That is an engine. I
Yeah.
was not expecting that, so I love that. And then, do you ever think about bringing your comedy tour to Cleveland? Like, I know that the people here would love to see it. Is that something that you've considered?
I definitely want to. I think, once I finish like writing and shooting this first season of Everything's Trash, I definitely want to get back on the road. So hopefully next winter I could start touring a little bit. But yeah, I would love to, because I feel like I've never had the opportunity to do where it's like, okay, I'm going to tour for 3 months. So that's like my goal, and Cleveland's definitely on the list.
Gotcha, perfect. So we'll fingers crossed on that. We'll hold you to that one. And then lastly, you've seen so much success. What was that moment in your career that you knew that you made it? Have you experienced it yet, even? Or what was that moment for you?
I think when Michelle Obama's team reached out to ask Jessica and I to be the one piece of non-traditional sort of interview that she did for her Becoming book tour. Jess and I used to always joke on the podcast that Michelle Obama listened to it, but then we were like, oh wait, I think she actually did. And so that was really cool, because she's so awesome. And that will always, just spending that time with her and interviewing her, that will always be a highlight of my career.
Fantastic. And then lastly, what is next for you? I know we have the HBO special coming out today is Thursday. Okay, so this Thursday. But what is next? What do you hope? What is next on Phoebe's goal list?
Oh gosh, I think getting through Everything's Trash and birthing that baby onto TV. And I think I would like to write a romantic comedy. They're like my favorite movies. So that's like my dream.
Sign me up. Sign me up to watch. I would love to. But all right, Phoebe, that's all the questions that I have for you. Again, I thank you for taking the time to chat with us. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you here in Cleveland soon.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. I miss Cleveland so much. I can't wait to come home.
Love that. Have a great night.
You too.